So, cold storage candidates. Let's try find a good replacement by this time next week. Things are going to start to thaw out if we have to cycle them in and out of refrigeration any longer than that.
Let's go!
That place is nowhere near big enough.
So what do you think the chances are that we just give Clay his business back, use his cold storage again? Do you think there are good chances of that?
No way, dude. I've never seen Getsus as mad as he was at Clay when he found out his debt collectors took me to the break room.
Yeah. Hey guys, so what are your jobs?
We're pulling thorns out of wild Pokemon paws today.
Oh, that's actually really sweet.
Hey, stranger!
Hey Bianca, is the disguise really necessary?
I gotta keep my distance. If they see you with me, this whole thing is blown. Yeah, when Getsus found out, he was like, "We don't get any respect. I'm done working with Clay."
Is that your Getsus impression?
It is. That's what he sounds like. Don't tell anyone I said that.
Well. Anne!
Ready to get to it?
Yeah. But first, I actually want to give you something.
Oh, I've got something for you too.
What? Okay, same time.
Dude, stop asking. There's no way Team Plasma works with anything Clay owns ever again.
Hey, stranger! I'll see what she wants. Maybe she's got a big fridge we can use.
Alright, final verdict. What do you got?
Clay's off the table?
Yes.
Well, I found one place that it's not a refrigeration warehouse so much as it's an Airbnb that has a fridge for one option.
Okay, so that's the bad choice, if we want to make the bad choice. I found a place that I think would actually work pretty well. It's a tower, so high rise, efficient use of space. They got the refrigeration mostly built in. The one downside is that we'll have to carry the boxes up and down some stairs to get to each floor of the tower. But it should be able to hold everything, and they're asking for a reasonable rate.
I think that's the one.
I'm glad it was you helping me with this, Aiden. You're a good guy.
What you got now?
Oh, Aiden, Getsus just approved the cold storage tower. They're moving everything in starting today.
Cool! Do you think Getsus will let you pick a partner again for your next job?
Yep.
Hell yeah!
But hey, there's going to be a big Team Plasma meeting later today in the new cold storage tower while we're still unloading. See you there?
You know it, man.
Nice. I'll see you there, Aiden. Welcome back to Pokemon Black Permadeath, where fainting is permanent, and I'm only allowed one of each Pokemon type. Before anything else, I swap out Team Win for Team Sin again. I think alternating back and forth is a good way to make sure they're both kept up to level standards as we go through this game.
Hey you, give me your wallet.
Why?
I want it.
Me too.
Oh damn, then forget it.
I don't want his wallet.
You don't?
Not really.
Awesome. You heard her, hand it over.
I'm not giving you guys my wallet.
But I really want it, and she doesn't want it at all. I should get it.
Leave me alone.
Selfish. Skylar, let's get out of here.
Sorry about him. The city's had some financial trouble lately.
Hey, it's fine. No harm done. Who was that guy?
The city.
Huh?
Like when someone's named London or Paris. That guy's the city. Oh no, the city's under attack by a giant lizard! I gotta go!
He looks fine to me.
Okay, that last part didn't happen about the lizard. Sorry, sometimes I make stuff up. I'll try to stick to just the real story of the game again, from now on. I spend a bit of time walking around the city airport. I don't actually know where the Pokemon gym is in this city, even after being here for a week, so I'm just amusing myself by having the airport staff check my bags, then immediately taking them back and leaving.
Hey kid, great to see you again.
It is?
I mean, maybe I'm overselling it, but you know, hi.
You're not gonna try to take my hat?
No, we're outside. Careful though, don't step under any roofs, I'll jump you.
Hey, and speaking of, do you know where this city's Pokemon gym actually is? I've been here for a week and I still haven't run into it.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. There is no Pokemon gym in this city anymore.
What?
It closed down, ran out of budget. Mistralton City's been without a Pokemon gym for months now.
But if I can't get 8 gym badges, I can't become a pro trainer and make a ton of money. And if I don't make a ton of money, well, it's actually personal. I don't want to share, but it would be very bad for me. I need money fast.
Look, you wear hats inside Pokemon gyms, and I don't like that. But you also saved the ground-type gym from closing down. Maybe the two of us can do something about this.
I'm listening.
See, it'd take months, maybe a year or two, for the local government to get around to replacing it.
I do not have that time.
Me neither. Because I really like Pokemon gyms. It's not urgent. If you can convince the former gym leader Skyla to give it another go and speed up the process, I'll say thank you. In a cute voice.
You don't have a cute voice in your arsenal. You don't have access to that.
You don't know what I'm capable of.
Are you capable of making or finding some gym badges if I can get the gym leader back in?
Yes, but then you don't get the cute voice.
I can live with that.
Okay, so we need to get the Pokemon gym up and running again in this city, which is an interesting responsibility, but it's one we need to take if I want to pay Clay back his debt. Which I don't, but I have to pay Clay back his debt. While I'm coming up with a plan, I decide to go along Route 7 for a bit, just to level up Team Sin a bit and see what we run into. One of the things we run into is called a Cubchoo, which I catch. It's like a sneezing teddy bear, and it's an ice type, which ice type is real. The character limit is too small to name it the Unfathomable Sneeze, so instead I go for Restraint. I can respect someone capable of holding back a sneeze that large. Team Sin is on 6 Pokemon right now, which is a full team, so Restraint is just a backup Pokemon for now. Naturally, there are some updates to the board as well, which is actually filling up nicely. One of the things I learned is that Bug type is super effective against Dark, which is strange. I learned other things too, but that one was just worth noting. Something I'm realizing is that Envy, my electric horse on Team Sin, actually has very strong potential as a counterplay Pokemon. I have her equipped with an item called a Quick Claw, which lets her go first more often, and she already has a pretty high base speed, and one of her attacks, her fire attack, actually raises her speed even more, so there's a good chance she can get in a move before the opponent. Between this move, which will guaranteed paralyze the enemy Pokemon on hit, and this move, which just does damage and cannot miss, she's probably pretty useful for stopping a heavy hitter, or for taking down an annoying dodger, which we've run into quite a few of both of those. I guess when you're against something more powerful than you're prepared to take on, and you don't feel like you have very much you can rely on, you can at least rely on Envy.
Hey, have you ever heard of a rotation battle? Yeah, but it was a bad memory. They're catching on like crazy. Don't get left behind.
Yeah, the Pokemon are a good bit higher level than Team Sin is at the moment, but that's okay, the battle goes pretty well.
Yeah, give me the cash. That's nice. I see where I went wrong. You tend to switch to high HP Pokemon to absorb my attacks. That's more of a rotation technique. You're pretty good. Well, a Metal Gear!
As I'm learning more and more Pokemon type matchups, I'm actually realizing that I probably need to update the board visually again, because there is something I'm missing. I have on the board, for example, that ground is ineffective versus flying, but the thing is, ground type attacks don't just do less damage to flying Pokemon. They do nothing. It's complete nothing. I've been aware of that for a little bit because I use the move and it does nothing, but I didn't specifically highlight it on the board because I didn't want to just make like another column, and I feel like it would make it confusing. But now I'm running into more type matchups where nothing happens when you use them, and I feel like it is worth specifically pointing out which of these type matchups actually have zero effect instead of just a minimized effect. This is what I figured out for showing that. Hopefully it's clear. I'm sure I've seen other type matchups where there's zero effect as well, but I don't want to go through like all my footage, so we'll just have to add them as they come up again. I'm also, while we're here, just going to recolor these segments of the board for ease of reading at a glance, so I don't have to like figure out which column is what every time I look over. And while we're on the board, okay, I just want to say something. Sometimes I make updates to it without being 100% certain. For example, I have caught one of these Pokemon. I know it is an ice type. It's not an ice type / water type, it's an ice type. This attack it uses looks like hail, so I'm assuming this attack is an ice type. However, this attack is super effective versus apathy, which would suggest that ice is super effective versus either dark or ground type. The thing is, apparently, if this is true, then ice is super effective against fire? What? Look, okay, it looks like hail, it's coming from an ice Pokemon, right? But look, okay, it could, I'm not putting it on the board yet, because it could be water type, right? Because I know water is super effective versus ground, so maybe that was what was happening to apathy earlier. Especially since I learned fire does large damage to ice, right? It would be weird if ice also did large damage to fire. There's a little peek behind the curtain of the board. I'm kind of expecting, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm expecting at one point to rely on a piece of information on the board, only to find out it is wrong because I assumed an attack was a certain type and it wasn't. It hasn't happened yet though, haven't had to remove anything from the board, so, you know, hopefully we're good so far.
Dude, you can't just be doing laps on this rickety old wooden frame, you're gonna fall.
Oh no, I was circusing again, wasn't I?
What?
The tightrope calls for me, but it can't have me. I'm free now, you hear? I'm free! While we're here, this is a good chance to properly introduce you to Plague, the toxic waste member of Team Sin. Plague has a chance just inbuilt into her genome that anytime she's damaged by an enemy, that enemy might be put to sleep, might be poisoned, or might be paralyzed. Not safe to touch. I also gave her an item called a Rocky Helmet that damages enemies when she's hurt. It seems pretty in character, to be honest. I'm feeling good about this, right? This is just like thematic. Plague also has lots of self-heal moves, including a move called Giga Drain, which takes a ton of the enemy's health to heal Plagues. Look, basically what I'm saying is Plague is probably going to be the first member of Team Sin to die one day. But odds are she's going to take a lot of people down with her first.
I'm sorry. I tried getting a new job as a park ranger, you know?
Yeah?
I had to lie about the gap in my resume from being trapped in Dr.
Okay.
Berg's gym.
Yep.
I insulted the hiring manager for even asking
Got it.
about it. You know what she said? I won't take this lying clown.
Whoa!
And it's a great location, especially with all the local ice types. Oh, hey, N!
Nope, not N.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, take this. Save some confusion.
What floor is the meeting on?
Top one. Don't mind the casuals moving in the old stock. They're pretty battle hungry.
Everybody's goddamn battle hungry. Okay, see you later, not N.
No, you're not N.
I know, neither are you.
No, I'm not Lucas.
Who's Lucas?
Totally different guy. I get it all the time.
While we're walking around this strange tower, I run into a wild Pokemon called a Litwick, and I catch it. It's a fire/ghost type Pokemon, which is like perfect for Team Sin thematically, right? It's hell, right? That's the hell type Pokemon. Fire Ghost, you kidding me? Unfortunately, Lucy is already a very good fire type, and we have 6 Pokemon, so we'll just have to see. Back up for now. I name it Penitent. And look, I'm just gonna say, the reason I caught it, okay, I thought this was like a cool, rare chance encounter, 1 in a million, because this doesn't look like the area you would normally run into wild Pokemon, right? So I was like, whoa, we're fighting trainers. What random encounter? This is so rare. I gotta get it. But then I ran into like 100 more of these things. They are very common. I don't know. I was excited for a second. By the way, nope. I can confirm ice is definitely effective versus ground or dark, meaning apathy. I'm saying this because that attack was called Ice Fang, so it's not a water is good versus ground thing that we already know about. Also, while we're here, I learned that ice is not very good against fire. Thank God, the world makes sense. So I add that to the board. Like, look, okay, I can't know for sure that the light blue attack named Ice Fang is an ice type attack. But if I'm wrong about that, I'm happy to be wrong about that. I would rather have some accidentally wrong things that I'm gonna learn later are wrong on the board than assume ice was effective against fire like some kind of maniac. So if the light blue Ice Fang attack is not ice type, okay, that's on me. That's my bad.
And now we've reached the top floor of the tower. It's time for the Big Team Plasma meeting.
Oh, sorry, not quite time for the Big Team Plasma meeting. It's another A-B split. I promise I'm not doing this on purpose for a joke. It just keeps happening. Most of B is done because I didn't know this would happen. See you very soon.